Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit. And in this video, I want to talk about pacing yourself as a reseller. And what I mean by that is, especially if you're new and you're coming from that 9-to-5 world, you're working a job, maybe deep down inside, you're like, I can't take this anymore. Like, I want to do whatever I can right now and work till 5 in the morning, and get 2 hours of sleep to quit my job. Trust me, I get it. I used to work 9-to-5. I used to deliver pizzas. I worked at Namco, Toys R Us, Cracker Barrel. If you've been following my channel, you know. But I want to talk about pacing yourself because it's very important, because a lot of people do burn themselves out, especially new people. Even though you might have this burning desire inside to not work a job, and maybe you say to yourself, you know what, there's no way I'm going to burn myself out. I love reselling. It's so fun going to thrift stores. It's so fun going to garage sales. You might even be saying to yourself, you know what, I love listing because every time I list, I make money. But I can tell you right now, at least from my experience, and feel free to disagree in the comments. I'd love to know your feedback. This is just one guy's opinion. But for me, I used to love sourcing. I used to love listing. I used to love shipping. I used to love every bit of the process of reselling so much more before I turned it into, I guess you can call it a job or a business, right? When I was doing it just as a hobby, just as fun, and especially those first 6 months, I guess, maybe before I really made it a thing and I was making a full-time income from it, it was a lot more fun. But over time, for me at least, it became a little less fun when it turns into your livelihood, when it turns into your income. And I know I'm going off on a tangent right now, so I should probably get back on track to what I was trying to say. But the point I'm trying to make is, don't kill yourself in the beginning trying to build this business if you don't have to. Now, if your back's against the wall, you got to pay your mortgage, you're so sick and tired, and you know what, you're saying, every cell in your body's telling you, you know what, I don't care, I'll sleep 2 hours, I'm going to do this Gary V style, then go for it. But I do see a lot of people burn themselves out because they go too hard, too quick, and it stops being fun. Obviously, you got to enjoy what you do, and you got to have a passion, and I do. I'm passionate about reselling. I still enjoy it. I still love it, but it wasn't the same as it used to be. Before I turned it into a business, and especially I could think back to about 6 years ago. After about 18 months or so, I started to burn out a little bit because I was just working all the time. That's the thing about running a reselling business. You can work 24 hours a day. There's always something to do, whether it's sourcing or listing or cleaning or prepping or shipping or customer service or working on your inventory management system or, researching 10 items a day, like I talked about in one of those other videos, which is important. You got to research as much as you possibly can when you're new. It's easy to burn yourself out if you don't pace yourself. So that's why I recommend, spend 30 to 60 minutes a day sourcing. Set a goal of listing 10 items a day. Go out sourcing 3-4 times a week. Obviously, these are just general rules of thumb. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. But burnout is a real thing, and a lot of people do burn out, and they end up quitting selling on eBay because they lose that passion, that excitement, that fun, that love of going out and, who can relate, right? That love of going out and just finding items. It's so fun. But when it starts to turn into a business and you're saying to yourself, I don't have enough items to list for the week. I'm listing 20 items a day. That means I need 140 items. Maybe you're listing every day. And now you're struggling to find stuff at Goodwills, at garage sales, at flea markets. Maybe because your knowledge base isn't there, or maybe because the competition beat you to it this week, or it could just be slow. Sometimes it happens. And it starts to kind of stress you out and create anxiety because you're trying to make this into a thing. It's not as fun anymore. Your back's against the wall. You're struggling. Maybe you got hit with a couple returns. Maybe you got your account suspended, or maybe you just did something that you're disappointed in. You spent $15 on a sport coat, come home, it's all ripped up, and that was from a thrift store that was an hour and a half away, and you're not going to drive back to return it. You're disappointed, right? So when you start to kind of burn yourself out, some of the challenges of running a business start to hit home a little more. So that's why I recommend to really pace yourself. And, we all know the story of the tortoise and the hare, right? Sometimes I feel like it's better to be the tortoise, because who cares if you make a whole bunch of money in 30 days, or who cares if you list 400 items in a month? Even though if you're a new seller, you're not going to be able to, because you're going to have listing limitations for the most part. But who cares how well you do over 30 days, 45 days, maybe even 90 days if you end up quitting 6 months, 9 months a year and a half down the road, right? The whole purpose of building this business, at least for me, I can only speak from my experiences, was to not have to work for somebody else, to have to be able to make as much money as I wanted to based on my efforts, to have my freedom, to have something that I could rely on that nobody can take away from me, right? To be able to build a skill set that can allow me to add value to the marketplace so I can make money on my own terms without having to rely on somebody else. So if your goal really is to maybe quit your job or make this a full-time income or have this just be a sustainable side income that makes you $300 to $500 a month, pace yourself. It's easy to get excited. It's easy to jump out of the gate. It's easy to go crazy. It's easy to neglect your health, your sleep, even relationships. And then when things start to go wrong, it stresses you out. It's not as fun anymore. You quit, you give up. And I want to see you guys succeed. So pace yourself, right? Pace yourself. If you could list 20 items a day, but you don't really need to, maybe just start with 10. Build that habit. I talk about building habits all the time, and I'd rather list 5 items every single day versus kind of yo-yo dieting as an example to parallel to the listing where one day you list 20 and then you get burnt out and then you skip listing for 2 weeks and then you list another 20. I want to be consistent. I want this to be fun for us all. I want this to be something that we can do and we can grow and something that'll be there 2, 3, 4 years down the road. And, I want to shout out my mom, Mama Profit, because that's one thing that she's done really well. She's not the smartest when it comes to reselling and all the softwares and technologies. And, she's 67, but she knows how to pace herself and she's consistent. She's consistently sourcing. She usually goes out every day. We have a couple thrift stores in our area. She's consistently shipping out a couple boxes of books every single week. She doesn't go crazy. She doesn't go wild. She'll enjoy herself watching some movies on the computer while she's prepping books and listing books. And, even my buddy Vinny, I want to shout out Vinny. It wasn't long ago when Vinny, you probably seen him on the channel. You guys don't know much about him, but he came from a similar background as me where he wasn't doing very good in school and college and all that and was kind of working a lot of crappy jobs and wasn't really where he wanted to be, but he slowly started to build his toy business on eBay. And one thing led to another, and now he's making a full-time income from it. And, it's a journey. It really is. I'm just thinking back to all the people that I've connected with on YouTube and just family and friends who I've helped. And it's possible. Just don't burn yourself out. Don't quit. Don't give up. Set some realistic goals. Set big goals, but don't beat yourself up if you don't hit them every single month. Slowly grow, slowly progress. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you ever have any comments or questions, drop questions down below because that inspires me to make these videos. Most of the videos I make are from comments that I see, things that happened in my life, maybe that triggered me positively or negatively, mistakes I make, things that I learn, experiences. So feel free to leave a comment down below. And I just want to thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.